Hey, how you doing? Today is Sunday the 19th of May. It's rather overcast. I think the Weather Channel page says it's like a 30% chance of rain, but I gambled anyway and put some laundry out, so gonna take my chances. Anyway, I whacked wood all day yesterday, and so my shoulder needs a break, so I'm gonna do something a little easier today. Gonna harvest some horseradish and process it and have it edible in no time at all. This really needs to be done anyway because some of this is growing way outside of its patch. It's all supposed to be between those two stakes, and it's coming way out from where it belongs. Okay, so very simple, straightforward. Dig. This is the best time of year to get it. Now this is not going to be thick like what you see in the store, but it's still fine. It's going to blend up real good. I'll show you what's going to happen to that in a minute after I get some more. Really don't want it taking over everything here. Horseradish is one of those things where there was a guy who some of the geezers talk about. Speaking of the geezers, that's where I got my recipe from. So I'm not going to be using salt in this or sugar or anything else. And this guy says, every year I plow it up and it keeps coming back. The guy who was telling the story laughed because that's what happens. If you plow it up and you leave pieces in the ground, they're going to come right back. And of course they're going to spread. You're going to get more than you had before. Nice pieces. This piece is probably going to go back in the ground, but we'll see. I know I use a certain container all the time for this, so I kind of have an idea of how many I want. I'm going to have to dirty the blender, so I want to make it worthwhile, but I don't want to make so much that it loses its bite before we can eat it all. So getting a lot there. I see a couple of bug holes already from probably snails. I need to get the snail bait out here pretty quick. Alright, this is probably how many I'm going to go with. So make a little more of a hole. I missed part of that root, so that's going to come right back. That's why some of these are so deep. Of course, you want loose soil for these. And let's just see what that bunch looks like. That's a nice one. That's a nice one too. Okay, and take that one too because that's a nice one. I'll leave that just like that for now. Now, there's the pile. See if you can see what's happening. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now everything that's considered scrap is going to go right back in. So cut that off, leave a little top to it.
You see how easy this cuts compared to what you buy in a store. This stuff goes really easy. The stuff you buy in the store is so hard. A lot of people don't even know what horseradish is. In Walmart, I've seen it where they sold it and it's wrapped. And then it has a UPC sticker on it, and all they do is ring it up like a grocery. But in Price Chopper and some of the other stores where they sell it as a root, it comes in one big piece, and it's usually similar to this, but it's fat, and it's probably 8 inches, 9 inches long. I don't think that has root. Anyway, so it comes in one piece like this, but one big fat piece, and the cashier will say, "What is it?" Because they have to know what code to look in on that little chart they have to what to ring it up as. And the one girl says, "Horseradish? I thought that comes in a jar." Well, yeah, it does, but this is how it comes before it gets to the jar. So, I don't know, you got the idea here, but I'm not gonna... I might just throw all these little pieces right back in, because they're dirty and small. Well, I'm not sure I have enough or not. I could probably do with one more big piece. So stay there, I'll come back to you in a second. I'll go get one more piece. I just kept going further down the line where I was before. Some of these are too deep. I'm getting too much top and not enough root. That's not a good situation. Like I said, see, this has nothing there at all. Alright, now I'm going to put this back in the ground and go in the house and put that in the sink to soak and clean. And then, like I said, I wanted to get this early in case it rains, so I got to have breakfast and see what else has to be done, and then I'll be back. Okay, that's what the area looks like after I shovel the dirt back over. And then this is what I have on the yellow thing to take in the house and process. And that'll go in the sink for a while I do other things and get some of the dirt off there, well, most of the dirt off there. And I shouldn't have to peel this. This is very, very fresh. Should be fine to go just the way it is. Okay, here's a quick intermediate part. Usually I would do this in a bucket outside, but since I'm trying the video and I wanted to get in, it's not very nice out. It's 55 degrees and cloudy, and so I'm running these underwater on this side of the sink, and I'm going to fill that side with water and let them soak for a while just to get any dirt that's left in here that I can't get out by the short way. And you see it comes out pretty nice. The dirt comes off pretty easily. I'll just do this whole batch like that. And see you in a bit. Okay, here they are, soaking in clean water. You can see that the water is pretty nice and decent looking. And the other side of the sink is cleaned out. All the dirt goes into the strainer, and then I just dump it into the composter. And of course, I can't make enough compost on coffee grounds and potato peels and whatever else. But everything we do have get in here does go into the compost. So catch you in a few minutes. It'll be time to take these things out. I think I'm going to have breakfast finally first. Then I'll take these out of the water here and slice them, cube them, make them in small pieces so that I can drop them in the blender. And then, that'll be the next step. Mmm. 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 Okay, welcome back. I got most of it cut up into small pieces here, ready to go into the blender. I kept this one piece out because I wanted you to see this is just a regular cheap old everyday steak knife that we use, every day. It's probably, I don't know how many years old. It's not very sharp. Anyway, it cuts right through these things. The store-bought ones, well, almost. The store-bought ones, I mean, you just about need a hacksaw to get through them. This thing, it just goes really easy, and this is unpeeled even. So, alright, now, I won't be able to talk over the blender, of course. So, let's see what happens. I had a recipe here on a card from years ago. It said 3/4 of a cup of horseradish root, a certain amount of vinegar, a certain amount of salt, and a certain amount of sugar. And then Bernie Burnside, farmer extraordinaire, the man who knows the answer to everything, says you don't need all that. So I don't use all the extra ingredients anymore. I just use the horseradish and vinegar, and I don't measure it. There's the container. Where's the container? Here's the container that it's going to go in. It's I think it's from Chinese takeout soup, and I kind of know how fast we use it. And if I fill most of this container, we'll use it up before it loses its bite. So I'm going to start processing. I'll put a little bit of horseradish and then a little bit of vinegar, and you will hear a difference in the sound of the machine, but like I say, I won't try to talk over it because you won't hear me. Alright, now if you noticed, I threw that last piece in and you couldn't hear the sound of the machine change, which means that it didn't get through to the bottom and it didn't get chopped. So that's about the time where you have to stop and take a look at what's going on. Now, if you have a grandkid handy and you want to have a little fun and you don't mind going to jail for child abuse, just have them say, "Hey, come here, Schmutzy, look in there and tell me what you see." And as soon as he gets that close, you're going to hear drama and screaming and ow, 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 ow. Because it's the kind of thing you'll only do once. You put your head over that thing right now, and you will never do it again. It's that potent. So, from a safe distance. You can use a food processor for this too, but I just happen to go with the blender today. From a safe distance, I can see that it needs a little more vinegar. Ooh. She's potent. Quick little pulse here. I'll scoop this out, put this in a container. Again, safe distance. And that's about the consistency I like it at, where it's just moist enough to spread on the food. I put it on burgers, and it's good on bologna sandwiches and almost any kind of beef, even though we don't buy a lot of beef anymore since the prices got outrageous. But I used to do, you know what's in the crock pot? Boneless chuck in the crock pot was always nice. Boneless, not boneless, but short ribs with the bone in. I always loved those camping, but they got so expensive now. They used to be dirt cheap crap, and now they're ridiculously expensive. So anyway, that batch is done. Now we'll go on to another batch and start the process right over again. I keep my hand on the top here because it will shoot out otherwise. Thought I might get by, but I don't think so. Well, maybe. Got a little bit more here. See how this goes. I'll stir it up one more time. That's all, it all went in, so it feels pretty creamy. I will not stick my head over there. I've learned that the hard way. I only did it once. I can feel my eyes burning just as close as I am now, which you can't see how close I am, but I'm not that close. Just from back here, I can feel it coming out of there. So we'll give it one more pulse, and then we'll pour it out and see what it looks like.
Okay, I don't know if you could see me stick that wooden thing in the top there. Be very careful if you do that because it will get in the blades. And oh, shit. Oh, mercy, I just caught a noseful. Okay. Plop. Yeah, she's burning my eyes now, damn it. Ooh. Mercy. Pope 10. They say this is the best time in the spring when you saw how big the leaves were, 6-8 inches, because all the energy of the plant is in the root. Okay, I'm back. I lost you at the end of the other video because the camera ran out of memory, so I went to download and it took forever, and I had to reboot the computer, and I hope I don't have serious problems, but I did eventually get it. So here's how much came out of that. It's a nice container full. Just, you know, kind of what I had in mind. And it's, you know, pretty good color, maybe a little bit darker than what you'd get in the store because it has the, you know what, on the skins on it, the peels. Anyway, so there was one more thing. I looked at the video that I downloaded to the from the camera, and I saw that some of it really took quite a while to do the harvesting and to do some of the processing, and then I was going to edit when I get to YouTube, and I'm thinking, no, I'm going to leave it because some of the other YouTubes I was watching, the guys were making stoves and stuff, and you know, and then they'd go off. All you do is punch a few holes in the metal, the guy would say, and then he'd come back after and edit. You really don't know how long it took him, so this way you actually see in real time how long it took if you ever decide to go to the grocery store and pick up a hunk. Except that it's a little bit more difficult to cut when it's not as fresh as this. Now you got an idea of how to do it. So one more thing we'll do here. And this is cleaning the blender, because some people, you know, don't realize that you can take these things apart. And you can. This one comes, I bought thermos, a couple of them at yard sales, and a thermos, you can unscrew the bottom and take the metal, the glass part, the actual thermos part out, and take the gaskets out and clean the whole thing out. And either the people just don't give a crap, or, you know, they don't know that they should do that, so they never take the thing apart. So you can take this all the way apart. Of course, I just ran the thing with water in it to get it off the sides. And now I'll turn it upside down. The base is okay, that doesn't need anything. Get a good grip on there and unscrew this part off the bottom. Run that underwater, get anything that's particles out of there. Then this part here, come on off, bugger. It's on there pretty tight, and I clean this all the time. All right. There we go. Now that includes the blade, instead of trying to reach down in there to get that out of there. Clean that off. Nice. And then this part you can reach right in there if you need to, and I'm just going to turn the water up and trying to, much easier than trying to reach in there when the blade is still in there and get the thing clean. So, and it's all cleaned out, and that's it. So there's your real world, real time, how to make horseradish experience. If you haven't tried it, if you've been dealing with that stuff in the jar, here's your opportunity to go out and, you know, make yourself some fresh product. There she is. Have a good one.